Hello and welcome to this installment of Talkin Trim. I'm Jonathon Skinner and today we're looking at the armrest for the Jaguar E Type 2+2 models, also applicable to the Jaguar S Type and Jaguar 420 models. Now when we're talking E Type 2+2, it was actually only the Series 1s that they were fitted to, as shown in this picture here. Series 1s had this torpedo-style armrest. It's commonly referred to for the obvious reason it kind of looks like a torpedo. But then for the Series 2s, they actually switched out to the smaller moulded plastic version armrest there, and then the Series 1.5s arguably didn't have them, dependent on the exact era that they were sort of made in the factory. So there were a few different versions of armrests for the E-types, and do refer to my other videos which I have done detailing the evolution of the armrests in the Jaguar E-types. But for the Series 1 2+2 only, they had this torpedo style armrest. And like I say, for the Jaguar S Type and Jaguar 420, they use the exact same armrest. It's a much better view of it, that one there. So they were obviously longer, elongated versions here. And what we've got here is we've got original armrest that the customer has sent to us, the material retrim kit, the other hand of the customer's armrest, which we've trimmed up into vinyl. And then we've got some aftermarket ones, which we have fully trimmed up in vinyl as well. And that's generally the offerings that we can supply for your restoration. So as standard, a retrim kit is supplied in our trim kits, which is basically two pieces of rectangular shaped vinyl for you to retrim your original ones at your ends. Alternatively, you can send us your original units and we can retrim them, and obviously we'll refit the chromes back on them. They had a sort of chrome plate on the back of them in that recess there, and then they had these little sort of chrome finishes on the top here for whether effectively how they're located to the door there. You can see the screw comes out the bottom there. So that's an option. Obviously, if you send us your original ones, we can retrim them for you. Or if your original ones are a bit past their best days, should we say, or missing, then of course we can supply aftermarket units here, fully trimmed up. They do have the holes obviously for the screw elements there, and we've just floated over. You can see the end there, so effectively you just pierce a small hole in there to get that done. I don't believe the chrome finishes are available in the aftermarket, but obviously if you have your original units but you're changing potentially to the aftermarket versions, you can try and reuse some of your chromes. But word of warning, I would say that you have to do a bit of tinkering to the actual armrest before that stage to get the chromes to fit correctly. So don't assume that the chromes will always fit the aftermarket version, because I'm not sure they always do, unfortunately. But certainly enough time and effort to put in on that, you can get it to work, but do bear that in mind. So that's effectively the offerings we can do. We then of course can offer a untrimmed version of the aftermarket armrest if you want to have a go at it yourself. Generally from the factory they would have left in vinyl, or strictly speaking leathercloth, and trimmed around, and this is what this one's been done in here. Of course we can offer them in leather as well, and we would fully skive and thin down that leather so that it makes it a bit more pliable to the trimming process there. Just to give you a bit of an overview of the actual armrest itself. So it's a moulded plastic. It then had the material kind of wrapped and vacuum wrapped around it and tacked in originally. We tend to use glue and staples these days when we do them. It had this sort of chrome grab finisher bit that went on the inside there. You had these chrome finishes here which went obviously for the holes where the screws poke out the bottom of it. Obviously you need to make sure you get the material all wrapped around those pointy ends there to get a nice neat finish around them, as per what we offer here. This one here has been done in what we refer to as AH blue. So it's a dark blue, but it's not fully dark. We also offer a much darker blue called dark blue. And this is part of a trim kit for a customer over in America, where he sent us a few parts, including these armrests, for us to fully trim up there. So obviously, because we're using his original units, we're able to easily refit the chrome elements for his. But like I say, for these aftermarket ones here, they're molded plastic as well. Then we trim them all the way around. We also do supply the screws as standard in our kits. They're just not in this video, they're in the bag. So bear that in mind. But like I say, the aftermarket kits do not include the chrome bit there or these finishes here. You can get them to fit these, but sometimes you have to play around and make a few alterations first, so do bear that in mind. It's not always possible, certainly not an easy job. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers our bases. So like I say, Series 1 2+2, these are the Torpedo-style armrests. So quite rare in the grand scheme of things because obviously for the Series 2s and the Series 3s, they switch to the much more commonly seen smaller moulded plastic self-coloured ones, as per this one here. But also applicable to the Jaguar S Type and the Jaguar 420 models as well. So, like I say, material included as standard in our trim kits. However, a fully trimmed up version of them is always considered an optional extra. So contact us for more details on that one. Hope you found that useful. Please remember to like, share and subscribe to other classic car enthusiasts out there. And be sure to check out our next video. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.